Gyan Bhairav Tantra, Volume 2, The Book of the Secrets, a new commentary. Discourse number 30, given in Bombay, India.
First question. Confrontation of oneself in aloneness is very fearful, very painful. What to do? It is fearful and it is painful, and one has to suffer it. Nothing should be done to avoid. Nothing should be done to divert the mind. Nothing should be done to escape from it. One has to suffer it and go through it. This suffering, this pain, is just a good symbol that you are near a new birth. And every birth is preceded by pain. It cannot be avoided, and it should not be avoided because it is part of your growth. This pain and this suffering is known traditionally really as tapasya, austerity. This is the meaning of tap, of arduous austerity effort. But why this pain is there? It should be understood, because understanding will help you to go through it. And if you go through it knowingly, you will come out of it more easily and sooner. Why there is pain when you are alone? The first thing, your ego gets ill. Your ego can exist only with others. It has grown in relationship. It cannot exist alone. The situation in which it can exist is no more. It feels suffocated. It feels just on the verge of death. And this is the deepest suffering. You feel as if you are dying. Not that you are dying, but only the ego that you have taken to be yourself, with which you have become identified. It cannot exist. It has been given to you by others. It is a contribution. When you leave others, you cannot carry it with yourself. Think this way. You are in a society. People think you are a very good person. This goodness cannot exist when you are lonely and alone. Because this was what people were thinking about you. Now those people are no more there. Your image cannot be helped. It has become foundationless. By and by it will disappear. And you will feel very bad, because you were such a good person. And now you are no more. And not only that, only good people will suffer. If you are a bad person, that too is given by others to you. That too is a way of getting attention. When many people consider you bad, they give you attention. They cannot be indifferent to you. They have to be aware of you. You are somebody, a bad man, dangerous. When you move into loneliness, you become nobody. That bad image will disappear. And you were feeding on that. Your ego was feeding on it. So bad men and good men are not basically different. Both are gaining their egos. Their mediums differ, but their goals are the same. Because the bad also depend on others, the good also. They exist in a society. The saint and the sinner, they exist in society. Alone, you are neither a saint nor a sinner. So all that you know about yourself will fall. By and by it will disappear. So you can prolong your ego only for a certain period. And that too you will have to do through imagination. But you cannot prolong it for long. Without society, you are uprooted. The soil is not there from where to get food. This is the basic pain. A dispersing personality. A dissolving personality. You are no more sure who you are. But this is good. Because unless this false you disappear, the real cannot emerge. Unless completely vast, you become again clean, the real cannot emerge. This false is occupying the throne. It must be dethroned. Living in solitariness, all that is false. And all that is given by society is false. Really, all that is given is false. All that is born with you is real. All that is you are by yourself, not contributed by someone, is real, authentic. But the false must go. And this false has much investment. You have invested in it so much. You have been looking after it so much. All your hopes hang around it. So when it dissolves, it starts dissolving. You will feel fear, afraid, trembling. What you are doing to yourself, destroying your whole life, the whole structure. Fear will be there, but one has to go through this fear. Only then you will become fearless. I don't say you will become brave. No, I say you will become fearless. Bravery is just part of fear. Howsoever brave you are, the fear is hidden behind. I say fearless. You will not be brave. There is no need to be brave when there is no fear. Bravery and fear both become irrelevant. They are both aspects of the same coin. So your brave men are nothing but you, standing on their head, just in Sirsasana. Your bravery is hidden within you, and your fear is on the surface. Their fear is hidden behind, and their bravery is on the surface. So when you are alone, you are very brave. When you think about, you are very brave. When a real situation comes, you are fearful. It is said about soldiers, the greatest of them, that before going to the front, they are as afraid as anyone. The inside is trembling. But they will go. They will push aside this trembling into the unconscious. And the more the inner trembling is there, the more they will create a facet around them, that they are brave. They will create an armor. And you look at that armor. It looks brave. Deep they are filled with fear. One becomes fearless only when one has gone through the deepest fear of all, and that is dissolving of the ego, dissolving of the image, dissolving of the personality. This is death. Because you don't know that a new life is going to emerge out of it. In the process you will know only death. Only when you are dead, as you are, the false entity, then you will come to know that the death was just a door to immortality. But that will be the end. In the process you are simply dying. Everything is being taken away from you that you cherished so much. Your personality, ideas, all that you thought is beautiful, all is leaving you. You are being denuded. All the roles and robes are taken away. In the process fear will be there. But this fear is basic, necessary, inevitable. One has to pass through it. So you should understand it, but don't try to avoid it. Don't try to escape it, because every escape will be again back. You will move into the personality. Those who go into deep silence and solitude, they always ask me, the fear will be there. So what to do? And I tell them not to do anything, just to live the fear. If trembling comes, tremble. Why? Prevent it. If an inner fear is there and you are shaking with it, so shake with it. Don't do anything. Allow it to happen. It will go by itself. If you avoid it, you can avoid. You can start chanting Rama, Rama, Ram. You can cling to a mantra. Then your mind is diverted. You will be pacified. And the fear will not be there. But you have pushed it into the unconscious. It was going out and it was good. You were going to be freed from it. It was leaving you. And when it leaves you, you will tremble. That's natural. Because every cell of the body and of the mind is leaving some energy, which has been always there, pushed down. So there will be a shaking, a trembling. It will be just like an earthquake. The whole soul will be disturbed by it, but let it be. Don't do anything, that's my advice. Not even chanting the name of Ram. Not trying anything to do with it. Because all that you can do will be against suppression. Just allowing it to be, letting it to be. It will leave you. And when it has left, you will be a different man altogether. The cyclone has gone, and you will be now centered as never before. And once you know the art of letting things to be, you have known one of the master key which opens all the inner doors. Then whatsoever is the case, let it be. Don't avoid it. If just for 3 months you can be in total solitude, in total silence, not fighting with anything, and allowing everything to be whatsoever it is, within 3 months the old will be gone and the new will be there. But the secret is allowing it to be, howsoever fearful, painful, howsoever apparently dangerous, death-like. Many moments will come when you will feel that you will go mad if you don't do anything. Involuntarily you will start doing something. You may know that nothing can be done, but you will not be in your control. You will start doing something. It is just like you are passing from a dark street in the night, midnight, and you feel fear. There is no one, and the night is dark, and the street is unknown. You start whistling. You know what whistling can do. Or you start to sing a song. You know nothing can be done by singing a song. The darkness cannot be dispelled. You remain alone, but still, it diverts the mind. If you start whistling, just by whistling you gain confidence. You forget the darkness. Your mind moves into whistling, and you start feeling good. Nothing has happened. The street is the same, the darkness is the same, the danger, if there is any, it is there. But now you feel more protected. The same. You can do something. You can start chanting a name, a mantra. And that will be a sort of whistling. It will give you strength. But that strength is dangerous. Because that strength again will become a problem. That strength is going to be to your old ego. You are reviving it again. Remain a witness and allow whatsoever happens. Fear has to be faced to go beyond it. Anguish has to be faced to transcend it. And the more authentic the encounters, face to face, looking at things as they are, the sooner the happening will be there. It takes time only because your authenticity is not intense. So you may take 3 months, 3 years, or 3 lives. It depends on the intensity. Really, 3 minutes can also do. 3 seconds can also do. But then you will have to pass through a tremendous hell in such an intensity that you may not be able to bear it, to tolerate it. If one can face whatsoever is hidden in oneself, it passes. And when it has gone, you are different. Because all that has left you was part of you before. Now it is no more a part. So don't ask what to do. There is no need to do anything. Non-doing, witnessing, effortlessly facing whatsoever is. Not even any slight effort. Just allowing it to be. Be passive and let it pass. It always passes. When you do something, that is the undoing. Because then you interfere. And who will interfere? Who is afraid? That which is the disease. That same disease will interfere. The same ego which has to be left behind will interfere. I told you that the ego is part of the society. You have left the society. You don't want to leave the part that society has given to you. It is rooted in the society. It cannot live without society. So either you have to leave it or you have to create a new society in which it can live. So you can create an alternate society. That is one of the greatest tricks of the mind. It has always been so. You can create a different society. You can create an ashram. 20 people who think that they want to live in solitude, they can create a monastery. Then the monastery has become an alternate society. So they move from the society, but they create another society. So nothing basically changes. They remain the same. Rather on the contrary, they may become more egoistic. Because now they are chosen few, elect. They have left the world. But they have created another world. And the same pattern of relationship moves again. Then the chief is there. Then the disciples are there and the master is there. And all hierarchy and everything comes in a miniature form. And then there are good disciples. And then there are bad disciples. And then there are successful ones and the failure ones. So same. In a small group, the whole society has come back. That will not do. Now this is happening in the West. A great number of young people are leaving the society because they feel the society is rotten, decadent, dying. And they feel this is so decadent that this cannot be changed. And this is a very new thing. Always young people think that the society is rotten, but they think it can be changed, transformed. So a revolution is needed. Only in the last stage of a society or a civilization, this happens when young people start thinking that nothing can be done. All revolution is nonsense. The society is so dead that you cannot revive it and you cannot change it. You just drop out of it. You cannot do the house is on fire, you simply escape from it. This is what is happening in the West. Hippies, beatniks, hippies and others dropping out of the society. But they are creating another society, alternate society. Then hippies themselves have become an alternate society. In the ordinary society, if you have long hairs, they will look at you that you have gone astray. Something is wrong. In the hippie society, if you have short hairs, you are wrong. Something is wrong with you. So what is the difference? In the ordinary society, if you live in a dirty way, you are wrong, unmannerly, uneducated, uncultivated, unacceptable. But in a hippie society, if you live very cleanly, then something is wrong about you. Then you are still clinging to the old mind of cleanliness, which said cleanliness is second to God. God has died long time before. Now the cleanliness has also died. It cannot exist without God. But the same condemnation and the same appreciation is there. You can create an alternate society with just the opposite rules, but it makes no difference. Your ego can feed again. It has been transplanted. A new soil has been found. To be solitary means don't create an alternate society. Just move of society, move out of it. And whatsoever society has given you will leave you. It can exist only in the milieu, in the social milieu. It cannot exist out of it. You will have to drop it. It will be painful because you are so adjusted to it. Everything is so arranged. It has become such a comfort to be adjusted. Everything is convenient. When you change and move alone, you are leaving all comforts, all conveniences, all that society can give. And when society gives something to you, it takes also something from you, your liberty, your soul really. So it is an exchange. And when you are trying to get your soul in its purity, you have to stop the bargain. It will be painful. But if you can pass through it, the highest bliss is just near. The society is not so painful as loneliness. Society is tranquilizing. It is convenient, comfortable. But it gives you a sort of sleep. If you move out of it, inconvenience is bound to be there. All types of inconvenience will be there. Those inconveniences have to be suffered with understanding that that is part of solitude and part of regaining yourself. This is tap. This is austerity. And you will come new out of it with a new glory and dignity, new purity and innocence. Second question. Last night you said that total aloneness is the essential nature, is the ultimate reality of man. On other day you explained that individuality is false and man is a wave in the organic whole of existence. How is a reconciliation possible between aloneness and wholeness? There is no need of any reconciliation. Aloneness is wholeness. But aloneness doesn't mean individuality. You are an individual because of the society. When you are totally alone, you will not be an individual. Individual means part of a society, a unit of a society. When you are in the crowd, you are an individual. When you move out of crowd, Not only crowd is dropping behind, the individual also is dropping behind. That individuality was given to you. Individuality and society were two poles of one phenomenon. Alone you are not an individual. Individual has to exist in a pattern of society. Just as I said, alone you are neither good nor bad. Alone you are neither sage nor sinner. Alone you are neither beautiful nor ugly. Alone you are neither wise nor fool. Both the dualities drop. The dichotomy drops. Individual exists in the society. Individual is the unit of the society. Alone you are not an individual. So don't think that alone you will become an individual. No, you will not be an individual. There is no society. How can you be an individual? You will be there. And that aloneness will be wholeness. The ego will drop. The ego gives you the feeling of individuality. Alone doesn't mean that you are an individual. Alone means now the dichotomy of society and individual is no more there. This will give you wholeness. You are not part of anything now. You have become the whole. This is difficult to express because in language it appears absurd. You cannot imagine how alone you will not be an individual. Because if you think and imagine yourself on the hilltop, sitting alone somewhere in a Himalayan cave, you will think yourself as an individual. Because you don't know what aloneness is. Aloneness means all thought, all mind, all individuality that was given to the society has been left behind. You will become just a space, an emptiness, nobody. Sitting in a Himalayan cave, there will be no one who is sitting, just a space. Buddha was meditating under a tree, full moon night, and some young people had come to the forest. They had brought much alcohol with them and a young prostitute. But they took so much alcohol and they became so intoxicated that the prostitute escaped. When they became aware that the girl has left them, they started to search her where she has gone. In their search, they reached Buddha, who was sitting under a tree meditating. So they asked him, "You must have seen a young, beautiful, nude girl passing from here, because this is the only way. And this is a full moon night, so you must have seen a beautiful young girl nude passing from here. Have you seen her?" Buddha opened his eyes and said, "Someone has passed. But I cannot say whether she was the one who passed was a woman or a man. I cannot say whether the person who passed was beautiful or ugly. And I cannot say whether the person who passed was clothed or naked. Someone has passed. I heard the footprints." But they were amazed. They said, "This is impossible." Buddha says, "I could not have believed this before myself. When I was a part of society, it was impossible. But now I have left the society. And I have left all the conceptions of the society. Now only nature happens around me. So I heard the sound, someone passing. Just the sound was there, which reached into my inner space. That's all. Someone has passed." You become a silent inner space. You are not an individual, because you are not a mind. To drop the mind, solitude is suggested. And with the mind, everything drops. A moment comes when you don't know who you are, and that is the moment from where real knowledge will start. A moment comes when you forget completely who you are. All that you knew before is no more there. All the old leaves have fallen. Now this is the moment. There will be an interval for a time being. This interval will be of much anguish, because the old has left and the new has yet not come. When the old leaves drop from the tree will be naked for a few days, just waiting for the new to emerge. The new are coming. They are on the way. The old have left the place. The place is vacant now. Now the new are flowing towards that space. Sooner or later they will emerge. And you will have to wait. While meditating in aloneness, the society will drop, the mind will drop, the ego will drop, and there will be a gap. You will have to pass that gap also. Now the tree is waiting for the new leaves to come. And you cannot do anything what the tree can do. To bring them sooner, nothing can be done. They will take their own course. This is good that the old have dropped. Now the place is there. Space is there for the new to emerge. Now there will be no barriers. So there is the autumn of inner mind. Leaves will drop. It will be painful. You lived with those old leaves so long. You will feel you are losing. And then there will be a winter of waiting. An inner winter. When you will be nude with no leaves. A naked tree against the sky. And you don't know what is going to happen. Now everything has stopped. Now no bird comes to sing on your branches. Now no one comes under its shadow to wait, to relax. Now you are not in any way aware whether you are dead or a new life is going to happen. This is the gap, the interval. Christian mystics have called it the dark night of the soul, before the sunrise. All artificial lights are put off. The night has become very dark. And the nearest moment when the sunrise is going to be there will be the darkest. So there is a winter of inner soul, when there are no leaves and no birds sing, and no one comes to wait under you and relax. You feel dead, everything has stopped. All movement is gone. This has to be past, and then there will be spring, new leaves will come, new life, eternity, new flowers. A total new dimension will appear within you. But remember the winter, remember the autumn, and only then the spring is possible. The autumn is also part of the spring, if you can understand. It is clearing the way, making the way for the spring to happen. So autumn is not against it, just the beginning of it. And the gap is also necessary. Because in the gap you become ready. The old has left. You are not tormented by it now, not burdened by it. You are pregnant. But pregnancy is waiting. The new child is growing. Before it emerges, manifests in the world, it will have to hide deep in the unconscious. Because every seed has to go deep in darkness, underneath, hidden. Only then life happens to it. You put the seed in sunlight and nothing will happen to it. It needs deep darkness, the womb. So there will be winter. When you are pregnant, but all movement has ceased, you will have to carry the burden. Consciously, understandingly, lovingly, hoping, praying, waiting. And then the spring will be there. It has been always so. Man is also a tree. And remember, aloneness is wholeness. They are not contradictory. Ego is part. Ego cannot be whole. Ego is fragmentary. The ego is against the whole. In aloneness, ego disappears. You become one with the whole. The boundary disappears. When you are really alone, you are the cosmos. You are Brahman.